welcome. Today I'm going to be trading my phone pickups for how many pages I'm going to read each day this week. Right here I have written down how many times I picked up my phone each day last week, and I don't actually know if these numbers are like good or bad. They seem pretty bad. I use my phone for everything. I'm home all day, so I'm constantly watching things on YouTube. I'm constantly texting my husband during the day. I'm constantly playing games on my phone. There's this one game that I have been obsessed with lately, and I've been playing that pretty consistently. So I am constantly using my phone, constantly picking it up, and I think it shows. Needless to say, we are going to be reading a lot this week, which is good because I have about 3 weeks until I'm going to pick out my fall TBR. I am so excited for fall. I really want summer to be over. But I have 4 books left on my summer TBR, which is insane. That's amazing, which means I've read like 8 books off my TBR this season. But if we could get to all 12 that I picked out for summer, that would be amazing. So this should help me do that. So the book I'm going to be starting today is Always Never Yours. You guys, I am not excited to read this book. I told my husband that I wasn't really excited to read it, and he's like, oh, what's it about? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And so I read the back to him, and I said, yep, nope, still not excited to read this book. So she is in high school. She's been in quite a few relationships, and each one, the guy that she is dating falls madly in love with someone else. So she is just like the placeholder, and she gets cast as Juliet in her school's production of Romeo and Juliet. And she falls in love with not Romeo, because Romeo is like her ex or something, and she falls in love with someone else within the production, and apparently she has some daddy issues too. I don't know. I don't. That's what I remember from a couple days ago when I read the synopsis. How do you say that word? Did I say it right? When I read the synopsis to my husband. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like something I'd be interested in right now, which might be good for a challenge like this because I have to read, and I have to read a certain amount each day, so it might help me get through a book that I'm not super excited for. So last Monday, I picked up my phone 63 times, and that is the lowest of all week. That should get me to chapter 7. I should be able to finish this book this week, plus start the next book on my shelf. That is if I really don't like this book and I do only read the required amount of pages per day. 63 pages, that should take me about 2 hours, which isn't bad at all. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I have all day to read because I'm gonna love this book, you guys. I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be the perfect vibes, you know? She's in high school. Hopefully it's like the start of school. Like she just got out of summer and she's going into school because that's what most people are doing this week. So that would be good vibes. I'm so sorry for the fan. I do not have the energy to get up and turn it off just so I can film this 2-second of a thing. But I am on page 2 and I'm already cringing. This line, if there's one thing that could keep me from flirting, it's directing the hell out of Shakespeare. Cool. Yeah, sure. Also, we're just introducing every single person who's going to be in this book and giving us no information yet. I have found recently that I need characters to be introduced one by one, or else I get so confused and so lost. But no, just all the names, all at once. I have no clue who is. I got about 50 pages into my book, and then I started falling asleep because I was reading in bed. So I decided I'd take Zeus, there he is, and we'd come up here to this little park that no one ever goes to, and I would read for the rest of the 13 pages I have to read. But it's just so nice outside. It's actually getting to be quite hot, but not as hot as the rest of this week, so I'm trying to make the most out of it. On the way up here though, this like ginormous, I don't know, grasshopper, something like that, flew into my armpit. It was awful. It was absolutely horrible. But we're here and it's hot and it's sunny and it'll be great for reading. It does take place in September. Figured it out. It's at the beginning of the school year. But I am still just not liking the vibes of the book. Like, there are so many things that happen that are just so cringy. It also makes sense for like these teenagers, and they're all immature and boys are the most important thing. It's like a little annoying at this age because I'm not in that space in my life anymore, but I understand at the same time. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna finish reading. This bench is at quite an angle. I have to like sit on the edge of like the back edge of the bench seat or else I'm like falling off, which the bench used to be over there. Like a week ago when we had our little barbecue, we had it over there and it was great, and the tree provided nice shade and it was flat, and I'm not sure why they moved it over here, but it's a little uncomfortable. I finished the pages I needed to read for my book. The bench was way too uncomfortable with it on a slant, so I ended up walking around and just reading while I was standing. But now I think Zeus and I are ready to go. Can you even see him back there? He's so little. Monday, day 1, reading goal complete. Hello, it's still Monday. It's about 8 o'clock and now I'm about halfway through this book, which is crazy. I still don't love it. There are still lots of things that cringe me out, but as we're getting deeper into the story, we're getting more, I wouldn't say character development, because character development is when the character changes in the book, but in this we're just getting more of the main character and her deeper feelings, and she's not as one-dimensional anymore, which I like. And I've even gotten to like this main character. She's funny and she's straightforward and she's everything I'm not, and all of her relationships are so interesting to me too, because they all make so much sense, but they're all so different. She speaks her mind. She's very blunt and honest, and everyone is drawn to that, apparently. Crazy things just went down. Just finished chapter 13. I'm 165 pages into the book. I have read both Monday and Tuesday's worth of pages. Of course, I'm not going to count this as Monday and Tuesday. This was just Monday's reading, and I went above and beyond. Tuesday, we have a lot of pages, and tomorrow is going to be so busy. So I don't know when I'm going to find time to read. Good morning. I woke up a little earlier than I expected this morning, so I should have time to get my pages read today. Today we have to read 95 pages. Should take me about 3 hours since I read about 30 pages an hour, which is why I didn't think I'd be able to get that done today. But if I start reading right now, I should be able to finish before my sister comes over. We're gonna have a fun summer sister day today. And then she even has a meeting actually, I don't know when her meeting is, but she has an hour meeting within the time that we're gonna be together. So I thought that I would only be getting like 2 hours of reading time today. But now I'm up 3 hours before she'll be here, which, as you can see, I'm currently doing my hair, so I don't have the full 3 hours right now, but then there's that 1 hour meeting time that I'm going to have to read, so I should be able to read 95 pages of my book today, which I'm not mad about. I feel like I am liking this book more as it goes on. I've learned to like the books that don't have like a heavy plot line, if that makes sense. Like in this book, there are lots of tiny little mini goals going on. She wants to get with this one guy, and this other guy needs her help for a play he's writing. There are big things happening, but like there's no crazy romance plot. There's no crazy, like even the subplot of family isn't that pressing, but I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just enjoying watching these stupid teenagers interact with each other. There are a lot of parts in this book that still make me cringe and still like I don't understand. Like it almost feels Like, these people are writing about what they think an American high school is like when they never went to one. That's the vibes I'm getting. Is that rude to say? But that isn't bad. I mean, that's how a bunch of TV shows are. They're super dramatized, and it's not actually how high school is. So why should books be any different, I guess? I don't know. I did it. I am so proud of myself. This was so difficult just because of the lack of time I had today, but I managed with everything, with my sister coming over, with me going over to a friend's house in like 10 minutes. I managed to read 95 pages. 95, 96? I read enough. I know that. I got to the chapter that I needed to, and I'm like 70 pages from the end of this book. I think I got a little bit of an ick at the very beginning, which I told you guys about, and I think since then, my opinions have been based around that ick that I felt, that cringe moment, or several that I felt, and I wasn't giving the book a fair shot because of that. But if I take that out, because it really was just the first few chapters that had those awkward moments that I did not enjoy, it's been great. And I was telling Romeo, because I was texting him, he's like, how's the book going? I'm like, I feel like nothing is happening, like nothing is progressing. And he's like, well, things have been progressing. And I was able to list out like a whole bunch of things that had happened since I started reading. And I'm like, oh, so a lot is happening. It just doesn't feel like it because we're still in the same setting, I guess. The characters feel very much the same. Oh, I also had a thought. The main character in this book, she reminds me of, oh no, I can't remember her name anymore, but Belly's best friend in The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's who this main character reminds me of. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because in season 1, I did not like her at all, and in season 2, I actually kind of like her a lot. I haven't watched season 3 yet. There are lots of feelings going around the friend group. Everyone's getting with everyone, it feels like. I like whenever books have a family dynamic, a difficult family dynamic that is like a subplot. I love that in books. One of my favorite books, Love and Luck, it has that. It's very much family oriented with like a little subplot of romance basically. But I feel like in this book, it's like it wants to be a thing so badly, but nothing's really happening within the family. It just kind of keeps repeating how our main character, I can never remember her name, that's why I keep saying the main character. It just keeps repeating how our main character is feeling about her family, but never having any sort of breakthrough with the family, which I'm sure there will be at the end of the book. There'll be some sort of breakthrough. We still love you just as much as my new family, you know? But right now I'm not seeing it. So I would love to see it progress through the book rather than whatever's gonna happen at the end to wrap everything up in a bow. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts so far. I'm gonna finish this book tomorrow. I don't even know if I have enough pages to do my goal tomorrow. So I might also be starting another book tomorrow. We are on a roll 2 days in a row. The least reading day and the most reading day killed both of them. So now we just have those middle guys. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are on day 3 of swapping my phone pickups for pages read in my book. And I've already done the math. I am 71 pages away from finishing this book. And today I'm supposed to read 77 pages. So not only will we be finishing Never Always Yours, Always Never Yours, but we will also be starting our next book, but I won't tell you what that is until we get there. So it's about 1 o'clock. I have 3 hours until my therapy appointment, and I don't know when Romeo's coming home today. On Wednesdays, he normally gets home at 12:30. But he has 2 meetings today. I know one of them is going to be like 2 hours long, and the other is probably an hour, because I haven't heard from him yet. I would assume he's still in that meeting, and then he has another appointment that he has to go to. So we should have time in just the time between now and when Romeo gets home to finish this book. and then I guess read the first chapter of the next book. So remember when 2 minutes ago I told you that I'm not sure when Romeo was coming home because he had like a 2-hour appointment he had to go to? Turns out that was rescheduled. So he's on his way home right now, therefore I don't know when I'm going to read today. I apologize if you can hear the fan in the corner. I am sweating, so I need it. I just got out of therapy, but before that, I finished my book. Very exciting. The ending felt a little rushed to me. So much broke. There was so much drama everywhere, and then it all got glued back together in the next chapter. So I don't really know how I feel about that, kind of negatively. And I feel like towards the end, it got into that cringy spot that started in the beginning of the book, which is kind of upsetting because I thought we were over that, and then it brought it back. Final rating for Always Never Yours is going to be 3 stars. It was good. I enjoyed reading it. I read it super quickly. I mean, I was forced to read a lot over the last 3 days, but I read so much more than I was forced to, which is positive. I enjoyed it. It was fun to read. There were just certain things that brought the rating down. That's it for that book. Now I have 6 pages left to read today, so I'm going to start Truly Madly Yours. I'm not very excited about this one either, just like I wasn't really excited about Never Always Yours. This one, it is about this woman, Delaney. She returned to her home to pay respects to her father who passed away, but in the will it says something about her staying away from a guy that she had some sort of relationship with in the past, and her story on not being able to do that. I don't know. Doesn't sound very interesting to me, but it's like the tiniest book ever. It's the size of my hand, about 370 pages. The words are even pretty huge. So the first chapter is actually 25 pages, which is crazy. That's such a long chapter, but I'm going to read at least the first chapter today. I might check in after that, but I'll probably check in with you tomorrow. I know I'm looking a little crazy right now. I just cleaned the entire apartment, deep cleaned everything, went through my clothes, got rid of some. It was a whole thing. Took me about 3.5 hours to do. But now it's about 1 o'clock and I'm ready to start reading for today. I did read the first chapter of this book, so I completed my Wednesday goal. And my thoughts on it so far, I can't tell if I like it or not. There's some sort of mystery element. In the prologue, we learned that this horrible man, really awful, never takes credit? I don't know if credit would be the right word, but he never admits that his son is his son because of the color of his skin, mind you. So, horrible man. And he goes on to marry this woman who is much younger than him. She has a daughter, which is the female main character of this book. The son, male main character of this book. So that's a little odd. But we learn this horrible man, he ends up taking his own life and forms it as a fire so no one knows that he did it, and he did it because he did something terrible that he doesn't want either anyone to find out, or he doesn't want to deal with the repercussions of what he did. That's what I got from the prologue. And then in the first chapter, we get a little bit more about Nick and his character and who he is, and he's just an F-boy through and through. Delaney, on the other hand, she's a hairstylist. She's made it big wherever she is. She's living her best life over there. She wants to go home. She's like, 2 more days. I just have to be here for the will to be read because I'm in it, and then I can leave. I can go home. She does not want to be in this small town in Idaho, which also, the book feels very much southern, so I don't know why we're in Idaho. I feel like it does not match the personality of the people in this little city. So it's too soon to actually, like, express my thoughts on it, to have thoughts on it. However, I will say that this is a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? There is quite a bit of spice already. It's just a lot. The first chapter was a lot, and it took me forever to read the first chapter. Anyway, I hope it doesn't continue in that fashion. I'm sure it will, if not get worse. Oh, wonderful. Truly Madly Yours by Rachel Gibson is described as a spicy romance novel, with some reviews noting it as extremely spicy. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I've obviously read spicy books. If you watched my bookshelf renovation video, you saw my Colleen Hoover books. Those are spicy, but I haven't read a spicy book in probably years at this point. So I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Anyway, today is Thursday and I am supposed to read 68 pages, which will put me at page 98, chapter 5. In this almost 400-page book, there are only 17 chapters. I read 2 of the 4 chapters that I have to read today, but I am falling asleep, so I have about 2 hours until Romeo gets home, and it'll probably only take me an hour of reading to finish the reading I have to do today. So I think I'm going to take a nap for about an hour, wake up, finish my reading before Romeo gets home. So anyway, that's the plan. This seems to be a pretty slow burn book. At least the premise of the book is the two of them have to stay away from each other. So I assume that it'll be pretty slow burn, which I don't normally like. I don't like when the people get together super fast, but I also don't like when it takes the entire book for the main characters to get together. Just one more thing that I don't think I'll like about this book. But it's fine because we're gonna try to find the positives just like we did in the book before. I just don't have any yet. So come back later and maybe I'll have a couple positives. I'm awake. I'm awake. It is past the time that I should have started reading. But I could not get myself to wake up. I feel so tired. The last few days, I felt so exhausted. I have not been able to get up. At least it hasn't been easy. I have been so exhausted. But every day that I take a nap, I feel like absolute crap after. I have a headache. I have a stomach ache. I am so groggy. Just my whole body hurts. Like, naps have not been my friend lately, but I've also just been so exhausted. And it's not like I'm not getting that much sleep. I'm getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night, but I've just been so tired and naps aren't working. Today I don't feel too bad. I have a pounding headache, but other than that I'm feeling okay, which is like miracle for how I have been feeling. Goodness. I'm gonna read for as long as I can. I will finish my 69 pages that I have to read today. That's how many I have to read today, right? I just reached chapter 5, which means I have completed my goal for today. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, which means our last day of this reading goal. Today we are supposed to read 75 pages. Not too bad. That would put me at 175. Chapter 9. I have 4 chapters to read today. Not bad at all. I do not feel good. Mentally, I'm not here, but this is the first time in so long that I've been able to complete my goals in 4 consecutive days. Monday through Thursday, I have completed the goal every single day, and I am so proud of myself for that. So we're gonna push myself to finish this goal and complete my reading goals Monday through Friday, because I haven't been able to do that in forever, and that would mean huge things for my progress with my mental health lately. So, I mean, even 4 days is huge progress, but I want to just finish off strong, even though my mental health is declining. So yeah, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. I have so much time today, so I can take breaks, I can take naps, I can do what I need to do to get this done, but I'm going to get it done. I was going to give you an update on my thoughts on the book, but I don't think I have any. There's no thoughts coming to my mind about this book that I haven't already shared. So let's get to reading then. I still have a chapter left to read, but Wanted to confirm real fast. This book is definitely spicy. This is like Colleen Hoover level spicy. I mean, we've only had like one little scene, but even that was a lot. And we've still got more than half of the book left, so I don't even know what to expect. I'm a little scared, to be honest. If you're not into spice, do not pick up this book. I'll just leave that there. I just finished the pages that I had to read today, so that means we have completed our goal. We have swapped my phone pickups for pages read every single day this week. I think I'm going to finish this book and then give y'all a final update on my thoughts on the book, and then I'll end this video. I just finished Truly Madly Yours by Rachel Gibson, and I'm ready to share my thoughts on this book. I don't have a rating as of right now, but I'm hoping that like sharing my thoughts will help me solidify a rating. I do not like this book very much. I can say that right now. I can handle unlikable characters, and I give characters the benefit of the doubt most of the time. I try so hard, be like, oh, this person is doing terrible things, but they're doing the best they can in the situation they're in. Or, oh, they had all this trauma, so obviously they're doing these horrible things because that's how they were raised. Or, you know, I try to make sense of the terrible things that people do in books. I just can't with this one. I don't like the love interest. He is awful. He is 32 years old, I think, and he's doing crap that I just can't wrap my head around. Like, he needs to grow up, start taking accountability for his actions instead of blaming it all on your father who never loved you. Everyone was blaming everything on this terrible father, and yeah, he was a terrible person. You're all right. But the mother of the male main character even has this grudge against the father of her child and the family that he married after she gave birth to his son, and he didn't want to take credit for his son. And she still has this huge grudge against these people who have done nothing wrong to her. I mean, obviously the father is in the wrong here, and sure, whatever, but he's dead now. Move on. And then it's not only her, but it's every single character is 12. Every single character is doing things that I cannot imagine someone in their 30s doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there was no there was no self-control between any of the characters in this book. The things that were happening in this book, I'm like, no way. no way. You literally, what? Everyone was so stupid. Everyone in this book needed to grow up, and I kept waiting for some sort of character development. I kept waiting to see the growth of the male main character so that the female main character can fall in love with him, and you know, it's a romance. So that's what I was expecting, but none of that happened. Well, that's not true. The female main character did fall in love with the male main character, but while the male main character was still doing terrible things and still a terrible human being and still acting like a child. But that was it. They're literally, the end of the book too was so stupid. Like, we have 300 pages of nothing, of absolutely nothing, and then the very end, somehow, miraculously, there's a complete flip in both of the characters. The female main character no longer cared about anything that was important to her throughout the entire book. She didn't care. And then the male main character had a complete 180 and went from douchebag who was using her for his own gain and completely flipped and was like, Mr. Perfect? I don't know. I don't know. I do think talking it through has helped me with my rating on this book. I am giving this book 1 star. That's my rating. Because I was between a 1 or a 2. I was like a 2 because I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. Like, I didn't hate the plot of the book as much as I thought I would. Like, I didn't think it would be very interesting, but then, you know, they're working next to each other and they're seeing each other all the time and there are these feelings, and he does do sweet things for her throughout the book. That's it. Those are the only things that I have positive things to say about the book. And then the rest of the book I absolutely hated, and wow, okay, I feel like I can't even express my thoughts very well. I just hated this book so much, so it's getting 1 star. That's my review on this book. I will be dropping this in my little free library the first chance I get. I'm done with this book. Don't even want to put it on my shelves. I will put a little note maybe in the cover. I'll put like a sticky note or something warning someone that it has a lot of spice, because I did not enjoy that. It didn't give us anything. It didn't add to the story. It was just there for spice sake, which I don't personally like. So I will put a little note in this book, but then I'm gonna just drop it at the free library, then be rid of it, because I can't with this book. But thank you so much for watching this video. Didn't end on a great note, but we did succeed in my goal of swapping my phone pickups for pages read, and I was able to read 2 different books in this video, so I'd say that's a win. If you liked this video, stick around. There's some more fun reading vlogs coming up soon. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will talk to y'all soon.